drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish for...
Yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the King and I Life podcast hosted by myself, Soul Touch of the Poet, and my brother in this joint.
Sansolex.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, oh man. Look here. I know we've been slacking on our podcast episodes, but we're gonna get that thing together.
Yeah. Missing in action, man. Missing in action. We working
But
behind the scenes though. That's all.
Yeah. We've been tired. We've been working. We've been doing this. We've been doing that. But got some dope stuff to post. It's to be coming soon by the end of the week. Other than that, man, what's good with you?
Everything's good, bro. Everything's good. I got no complaints. I'm steady, working out as much as I can, trying to get back fit and lose some weight in the process. So I'm good. How about you?
For the most part, I'm good. I got to go back to the doctor tomorrow for these damn knee injections because this weekend in National Guard, my back and my knees was on fire. So
damn it, man.
Tomorrow I might see if I get these gel injections, and then I got a CT scan next Tuesday. See what's up with the back. But other than that, hey, I ain't got no complaints. I am living life, loving it, and all that good stuff. Bonbons and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I see you, man. I see you been flexing on damn Instagram. That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you think now?
No. I had to get my sexy on last week. I had to go to a wedding. But other than that, yeah, shit's good. Shit's good.
That's what's up.
But yeah, we got a conversation for y'all.
Yes, indeed. And this is a good one. I'm sure many of you guys have had this discussion, so we're gonna bring it to the forefront tonight.
Yeah. And anybody out there want to join the conversation, the link is in the chat. So if you want to join us live, go ahead and hit that link and chat it up with us on a live tip. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all know where to find us at www.KingAndEyeLife.com. Social media, all those things and stuff like that. So like, subscribe, share, bell notifications so you get, you get notified when we drop new content and stuff like that.
Yes, indeed. And again, you guys can reach out to us at KingAndEye369@gmail.com. Again, that is KingAndEye369@gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we just want to thank you guys for all of the interaction we are getting on Facebook and Instagram. It's cool as hell.
Yes.
I can say hell, right? That's not too bad of a word. But
yeah, anyway, you good.
All right.
You good. You're not gonna be a sailor today.
No. We might even start a competition where every curse word I say, I might have to contribute $1. So that'll help me keep that down. But anyway, again, we just want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking in with us. Much appreciated. Again, as always, hit that like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, but without further ado, let's get into this.
Yes, sir.
Man. So, depending on where you grew up and what your family background, culture is, when you hit a certain age, you might have been faced with the very popular notion of when you turn 18, you got to go. But let's pause for a minute and think. When did this start? And what are the limits to where a parent reaches their breaking point of when their child got to go? What are your initial thoughts on this?
I feel like this, right? When it comes down to my child, he is able to stay with me as long as he wants to or desires to. But the thing about it is, as long as you're being a productive person of society, meaning, you got a plan of action about what you're doing with your life and, you're staying out of trouble and you're being respectful towards me and the rest of the people in my household, you're more than welcome to stay. But one thing about it is you're always going to either own a business or be in school or you have some type of career. And again, whatever money you have that's coming to you, it has to go into something productive, meaning leading up to either owning your own business or something along that line. You can't be out here just splurging. And then at that time, if you're an adult, um, you're going to pay some type of bill, whether it's
Mm.
your car note or your insurance or something. It's going to be something along that line. But the major stuff, as long as you under my roof and being respectful, I have no problem with it. And yourself, sir?
My mindset on this has changed drastically over the years. Long time ago, I was like, you turn 18, you got to go. But I've kind of changed my tune a little bit, given the times and the struggles and this, that, and the other, and understanding a little bit more about, you know, adulting. So yeah, I didn't have that option coming up. I did so me not having that option coming up, I looked at it a certain way.
Right.
Uh, but we'll get into that during the discussion. But yeah, I was always like, yeah, 18, you got to go. But I feel like now I have to be more understanding to the times and also understanding to what my child's path in life is. But that comes with discussion and a
Right.
lot of stuff. And yeah, that comes with a lot of discussion.
For
But
sure.
before we get into it, we're going to play part of this video that is going to bring us to what we talking about.
I'ma see if you gonna tell him. He coming in right now.
I let him know what's
And then
up.
when cause he ain't going nowhere. That's my son. That's my only son.
At some point, he got to go.
Never no
I mean,
time.
at some point, he
Never
got to
no
go.
time.
Man.
Never no time.
Well, tell him, Christian.
No, you tell him.
Well-
We talking about you grown and you gotta go somewhere. I told him you my only son. You ain't going no damn where. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I be wanting to walk through the house naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what?
No, if anything, you can go, not him. How about that?
I want to
How
pay all
about
the
that?
fucking bills in here. How the you gonna tell me where I can go?
But the thing is, like, why do I got this is my mama's house? Like, why do I gotta leave my mama house?
Period.
Man, you damn near 40 years old. Damn near it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29 now.
Well,
This video right here is a mother, her 29-year-old son.
Your thoughts on that?
Shouts out to Pink Book Lesson. You guys can, of course, find her on YouTube. She puts out some very great content. But my initial thoughts is it's his mom's house. Stepdad is paying all the bills. And I think, of course, a mom is always going to protect her child. But at some point, you got to step up and be a man. And I'm not saying that he has to be kicked out the house, but you're going to pay some bills around here. Point blank, period. You're going to take out some trash. You're going to wash some dishes. You're going to cut some grass. You're going to do something around here. You are just not going to come and go as you please if I'm paying all the bills. That's just it's not finna work over here.
Yeah, Sheila, definitely you got to be mindful of current economic situations. That is first and foremost. When I first peeped that video, my first thoughts was there's a little bit missing to that thing. And at first I was wondering why was the mother recording that? like why?
Yeah, I was looking at that, but I was thinking maybe she just in case it comes to physical blows, she has some type
I
of.
don't think it was going to come to physical blows.
I don't either. I don't
But
either. But you never know how she was thinking.
all right, so my initial thoughts is I'm not moving into no woman's house and paying all the bills. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Um yeah, man, that's a tough one. But like you, if if dude gonna be staying there, and I get it, that's his mother's house. He was there before I came, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. But I'm not gonna be paying all the bills, and he a grown ass man. Damn, 29 years old. Like, why am I paying all the bills in your house, and you got a 29-year-old adult child in your house
Exactly.
and talking back?
Yeah. I almost been $1, but being very disrespectful. Being disrespectful, man. Again, I get that this is her son, and he's grown, but at the same time, I'm sure by him being the stepfather, there's a lot of things he contributed to as far as raising that child. Meaning whether that's school supplies, school clothes, uh, basketball lessons, or tournaments, or whatever. I'm sure he contributed to that child being raised. Clothes on his back, food in his stomach, gas to get to and from school. This goes on. But if a man is doing all of that and he's not your biological father, you have to respect the fact that he's willing to do that for you. So I just think that there should have been more respect towards this man than what was being displayed in this video.
Yeah, definitely, Sheila. He needs to contribute to the household expenses, something, and be more respectful. The thing about it for me is I don't know how long that man been in that picture. Um, I know further in the video, she said when she met him, he was at home with his mother. And he was like, but he was 22. Um, I don't know. That's I gotta wonder how he was being raised. That's my thing in that situation. Because if he was raised in a manner which his mother didn't make him accountable or put him on the path to independency or anything like that, and added if that stepfather has been in that situation for that long and he wasn't given certain tools and he's still at 29 there and he ain't contributing nothing, that's a problem. That's a problem to me because that's like they were both hands-off parents and he was uh what I would call he was being breastfed his whole adult life. And what I mean by that is his mother didn't make him have responsibilities in that house. He probably took out the garbage every now and then, maybe washed a dish or two here and there, but outside of that, I don't think that he was given any responsibility in that house to where he would come off more respectful. Because I that the way that conversation rolled off, I'm not taking it. I'm just not taking it.
Yeah, that's crazy to say the least. And the one thing I noticed about that video, the mother seems like she's one of those people who can be very controlling. And from his posture, the father sitting there like shoulders down, like he didn't want any kind of smoke with her. Um, and again, I get it. That is her house. But if I'm paying the bills here, if I'm the man of the house, I'm going to be the man of the house. So again, I just feel like the position he's playing is, although you're paying the bills, you're like the third or fourth thought as far as like her list of priorities in the house.
Mm.
Her son is before you.
Mm.
And I get a lot of women feel that way. But as far as a respect thing, how can you respect a man as your husband when he's not even a priority?
Mm.
I don't get that.
Yeah. For those of y'all tuning in, the link is in the chat if you want to come up on camera and join us and add your feedback, or hey, just throw it in the chat. The one thing that I also want to point out in that, because this is a conversation that has been happening a lot on a lot of platforms that we have been a part of or that we watch. Um, the woman not having a respect for the man. Um, Clearly she has no respect for him, and that's just my opinion. And at the same time, I don't think he has put himself in a position to where he should get the respect. Um, I think that he has
I would
been
agree with
a
that.
one of those henpeck type dudes to where it's like happy wife, happy life. And she's gotten out of control with that to the point where she is combative, aggressive, toxic. I will say she has masculine, toxic masculine energy. I'll put it that way. Um, so yeah, I think that's what's going on to me.
Yeah, I got
I
that too.
can't I can't see myself sitting there. I'm not debating with a woman over whether her child contributes to the household if I'm paying all the bills.
No, I'm not.
I, I'm not going back and forth. It's not a back and forth conversation. It's not. If I'm the man of the house, I'm your husband, or whatever the case may be. I don't give a damn if it's your house or not. I'm not going back and forth with that. Um, I will kindly pack my shit and leave, and y'all could do whatever y'all want to do. So I'm just not. I'm not with it. Yes, Sheila. She definitely belittled him, and and that's why I was like, she's sitting there recording. I'm like, I'm definitely not having that conversation. Definitely not. Yes, and there's no mutual respect. I'm just like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I mean, the thing about it was when her son started talking, disrespectful towards him, that was her job right there to check him. Hold on, son. Hold on. You talking out of turn. Although you're an adult, this is the man of the house. This is the man of my life. This is my husband, even though he may not be your biological father.
But before it even got to there, she shouldn't have been going back and forth with him about that.
True. So true.
Period.
Yep.
But yeah. So let's jump into it.
All right.
Wait. Somebody? Sheila. Yeah, Sheila say, yep. So what were your options coming up in this situation when you hit 18 or graduated from high school?
All right. So here's a little bit of a fact about my life as a young teenager. Um, I felt that was kind of unfair to me. You know, both my parents were in that household, but when I hit 16, I had to start paying something of a rent fee.
Uh-huh.
And I always felt that was unfair because neither my older sister or my younger sister had to pay anything.
Mm,
And I get it from the standpoint of they're trying to teach me responsibility, but at the same time, it wasn't fair. If you're going to charge one child, you should charge all three. But
mm,
anyway, so, um, but once I left home and I went to college, and after exiting college and coming back home, uh, my parents allowed me to come back home, and they had no problem with it. They actually insisted that I come back home.
mm,
Um, but again, I had to contribute to the household.
Right.
So at that point, I was making pretty good money as a young man. So I had no problem with it. But again, neither one of my other siblings, when they were there, well, my older sister at this point was kind of like in and out
Mhm.
until she, married and moved on. But my younger sister, even at the point where she reached, teenage age and was making her own money, she never had to contribute to the house. Um, but yeah, I've had, times in my life where things did not work out the way I was planning for them to. So I had to return home. And again, my parents said, whatever you need. Do you need
Mhm.
help coming back in? Do you need help? You need us to come get you? What? So
Mhm.
that's one thing I will say that, I'm fortunate enough that my parents, um, were willing enough to anytime I needed to come back to regather myself, it was an open door policy.
Yeah.
What about you?
Let's see. I didn't have an option. Um, my mother didn't prepare me for college. My mother didn't prepare me for adulthood. We didn't have those type of conversations. None of that. I did work during high school, but I tricked my money off on dumb stuff. You know, going to the bowling alley, video games, fast food, stuff like that. But when I graduated high school, my mother sent me straight to Florida with family, and yeah, I had no plan, no nothing. So I was down there just there. Um, so I guess, yeah, I just didn't have that option.
All right.
And again, I wasn't being prepared for life, adulthood, or none of that. I had to uh, find my own path in that. I did, however, when I got off active duty, let me see, I was what, 20, let me see, 22 maybe? Yeah, 22, 22, 23 years old.
Mhm.
Um, I came to Maryland, stayed with family. Then I ended up staying with my mother from, let me see, I want to say 98 till I came back from Iraq in '05. And since then, I've never, ever gone back. I made it a point to put myself in a position to never, ever, ever go back. Um, and it's not because, well, I don't know. I don't know if I still had the option to go back when I got on my own.
Right.
Um, but I never wanted to because at that point I was self-sufficient and I did not want to be under anyone's roof where I didn't feel at home for whatever reason. Um, like my mother smoked cigarettes a lot, and I just don't want to be in anybody's house where they smoke cigarettes a lot because I don't want to go out the house smelling like a cigarette factory. That's just me. Um, so when it comes in terms of going back home
Hmm.
for me, no matter what age or what happened, that's my thing. I would fight to find a way because I don't see that I have options to where I would be able to go somewhere and feel at home. Um, and everyone has their different rules for their household, and it's like I can adjust, but I don't want to. I don't want to be a burden on anyone, and I don't want to uh, just accept any old type of living conditions just to have a roof over my head. That's just me.
For
So,
sure.
what's up, Miss Ty? What's up? What's up? What's
What's
up?
up, Ty?
Yeah.
So, what have you observed from other cultures?
Um, that's interesting. because when I observe other cultures, like Caucasian people, uh, people who come from Africa, Hispanics, Middle Easterns, a lot of different cultures, their children tend to stay with the family for quite some time, from what I've seen.
Right.
And I know it's a stability thing for some, or whatever the case may be. But for a lot of them that I've seen, they're doing that to keep the family together, build strong bonds, or whatever the case may be, or their children are going to school, or they're working and they're building uh gosh, wealth together. I
Right.
can't think of the term right now, but mo, you know they're actually creating a system to
Generational wealth.
generational wealth, and group economics is what I was thinking about.
Mhm.
um and that's in other cultures, but there are also our culture and Caucasian people and other things where the children are staying at home and they're doing nothing, and I think that's crazy. um so yeah, that's what I've seen.
Um, I've pretty much witnessed the same thing, as far as like all the different families that are from different backgrounds. It's only within our community, in my life experience, where I see the parents are asking the kids to leave at 18, if not before. And that always, um, it never sat right with me
Mm,
because I've had friends who were kicked out prematurely and they always ended up in trouble, or some of them ended up in trouble, and some of them end up losing their lives because they didn't know how to make the necessary adjustments. Um, but yeah, it was always something to that effect. Of I even had a situation. I'll tell this quick story and then I get off it, where I have someone close to me that was kicked out because he didn't um, say hello when he entered the home to his stepfather, who was quite a very mean person.
mm,
Again, you gotta just bear with me. I'm trying not to curse, but his father or stepfather was really a jack, as they say. But it's kind of hard to give someone respect if they don't give you respect. And at
mm,
this time, he was a teenager and he was contributing to the household. But anyway, he was kicked out, and it always left a mark on that relationship between him and his mom.
mm.
And even to this day, it still, you know, leaves a mark on him. But anyway, I just feel that within our culture, it's much more. Um, I'm not gonna say rampant, but it happens more in our culture than I've seen in other cultures.
Mm. So let me ask you this:
All right.
where were you living when you saw this happen?
At that time, I was living with my parents
In what state?
in Alabama.
Okay, because I was wondering if in our culture, if that happens more in the South or in the North.
Hmm.
Is it in city or more rural environments?
Right.
Um, because there's a different attitude and a different mindset when it's north or south, inner city or rural areas. Um, because the way you grow up kind of dictates that. And I know some north or south, rural or inner city, you're raised different ways, and it varies. Because sometimes you have hands-off parents who don't prepare their children for life, but expect them to be adults at 18, or whatever the case may be. And then you have hands-on parents who really prep their children for adulthood and stuff like that. Um, Yeah.
The crazy part about it, though, is now at this age, this individual is very successful. Like he has a career, he has a his own business, and he just has a lot of things going on that are tremendous as far as like his development.
Mm,
Um, but anyway, him and his mom they never got back to where they were after that
mm,
situation. I mean, he loves his mom, he respects his mom, but ever since that situation happened, it just never went back to you know the love he had before.
mm. Red Lipstick 5 says in the South it's get out.
Yeah, yeah, they will do it to you now.
Oh man. I don't know. I mean, I guess. Um, but I mean for me and then, well, I was 8 when I was 18, I was in Germany. So I guess I can't I can't even say that was the North. But um I don't know. I don't know. I guess in the South there's different expectations. But in the North, like if you listen to a lot of people, some of them say they left the house at 16 because they ain't like the rules in the house. Um, and that's a lot. That's another thing that goes on. You grow up, you coming up, and you don't like the rules of the house. So you like, when I turn 18, I'm getting out. It's like, but you're not prepared. But I
Right.
guess it's the structure of the household that makes them come to that conclusion. Because I can honestly say the nonsense I dealt with with my mother, I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. But I wasn't prepared. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I was in high school, I had several friends that were living on their own. Like I even had a set of friends where they were a couple and they had two kids together. I'm like, God damn!
Mm,
But they made it work. They both graduated from high school accordingly. I think one of them she had some really high marks. I don't think she
mm,
was valedictorian, but she did really well. But I don't know. It just surprised me when I moved to the South to find that a lot of teenagers were living on their own. When I lived in Virginia, I didn't see it, never heard of it.
mm,
Damn near a culture shock.
mm. So realistic advice says in the South, boys have to get out, girls stay. So since she brought that up, let's jump to that one first.
All right.
Um, what are the differences between sons and daughters in your opinion?
I think that I can't say Southern parents, but some parents are harder on their sons because they feel like I can't be easy on you because the world is not going to be easy on you.
Mm,
But as far as their daughters, they feel like, well, I gotta give you more help until you can make other arrangements for yourself.
mm.
How about you?
Um, I would have to say there's this expectation that um let me look at it like this.
All right.
It's kind of like an animal kingdom mentality. The male is expected to go off on his own and find his own way. Just go. you know, just go. Go find your own way. Um and the girls are under that nurturing umbrella. Um and I don't know how prevalent that is these days, but that expectation is there.
Right.
Um, but I think that I think boys are just expected. I think as humans, we subliminally have this thing in our heads that our sons should be growing up knowing what to do no matter what the situation is at home, whether they are directly taught or indirectly taught. I think that some parents uh, treat their sons as if they should be paying attention to what's going on, so that you know when the time comes, you just go. Um, so I think it's just like that. Realistic Vibe says usually it's because dads want to cover daughters, protect, etc. until she has a man. So girls stay until they leave on their own and get married. We have a guest, my
I would
sister
agree with that.
Rose. What's going on with you? Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if you can hear me, but we can't hear you. And
I hear you. I hear you.
Linnell says opposite for me. My brother is still home. I've been out since 19. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, interesting. So was that your choice to be out and his choice to stay? How did that work? Let me know, Linnell. Peachy, what you got for this?
So one thing about it though is, again, going back to the subject, I think that, or to add on what you're saying, is a lot of parents feel like a man should be able to fend for himself. But again, they somehow overlook the fact that if you're not teaching him anything, how do you expect for him to know?
Hmm.
Sure enough, he picks up on certain things, um, just being out in the world and watching friends or other adults. Sure enough,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some things that I feel like you have to teach your son
Mm.
just as well as things you have to teach your daughter. But um, from a man's perspective, I think there's a whole lot more he needs to know because, again, for him to walk into his manhood or be in his manhood, he has to learn how to hold it down for himself.
Mm. Linnell says her dad made it uncomfortable for her. That's interesting. Um, yeah, that's real interesting that
Yeah,
that was a situation because I would think that, yeah, I would think that you know fathers look at their daughters as daddies, little girls, have more patience and understanding and stuff like that. But I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
that's interesting.
yeah, that's very interesting. Um, Rose in the private chat says she wanted her daughters out as soon as possible.
Man,
Oh,
Linnell, you
she said her dad was a control freak. Oh wow,
I was- okay.
that's
You got a lot of information going on there. I would love to actually be able to ask you questions, but it's all good.
wow.
I would love for you to come on. Um, so what
I,
are
I
you?
would I wouldn't even like. I don't even control freak towards the daughter and cool with the son being there. Mm, I don't know, man. Um,
That was kind of crazy because when I was growing up, it was damn near the opposite. With
mhm,
my older sister, my parents didn't give a damn where she went or what she did. I guess because she was very mature, but um, they were a bit more hesitant to let me go and do my thing. But it's all
mm, mm. Realistic Vibe says, "Yeah, me too. I have questions. Yeah, question. We got questions. So let's jump to this. What are your thoughts on putting your child at 18 or after graduating high school? Let's dive deeper into that one.
for me, it never happened.
Never happened.
Never happened. I mean, the only way something like that happened is he got to be hella respectful or disrespectful, or I mean, he just wilding to the point that I can't talk to him or get him to see, the error of his ways. If he just out there being a thug, as they say, hey,
Hmm.
good luck, bro. Good luck. If I'm trying to do everything I can to help you and you're being disrespectful and, Pop, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're gonna learn the hard way, son. I promise you. But as
Mm.
far as me pushing them out, it'll never happen.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I feel the same way. I'm not gonna put you out of 18 though after you graduate high school because unless you join the military, then you know you still got some grooming that I could teach you. You know, the crazy thing about that I have seen, you know, fathers are not present or they're not teaching their sons how to be productive individuals. And what I mean by that is I know dudes at this age who don't know how to turn a wrench. Like, and that blows my mind. And it's like you've been sent out in the world and your father has not taught you how to turn a wrench.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's funny because I have a friend of mine who is a mechanic, and he had these guys come from, I think, where was it, like Illinois or something.
Mhm.
They're passing through going to Florida, and their radiator went out on them. And anyway, they got their car towed to his shop, and he, looked it over and found out what the problem was. And he went to him. He was like, "Hey, you guys need another radiator. Um, I'll look it up and see how much it is." And he said one of the guys looked at the other one and said, "Dude, what's a radiator?"
God, I can't stand it.
Oh my God, we fell out laughing about that. Like, how do you not know what a radiator is? But anyway,
Mm,
apparently some men don't know.
yeah. What's up, Rose?
Um, I think that you guys are a little biased there.
In what way?
The kids need to go.
You think
They need,
so?
yes, they need to go. It is your responsibility as a parent to start rearing them and nurturing them and teaching them and training them while
Hmm.
they're in the home. But then after a certain age, they have to go. They may come back,
Uh,
but they tasted it. They come back, they get a little bit, get themselves together, and then they go back out. Some don't come back.
right.
They need to
So,
go. All of
so
them, male and female.
at what age do you say they have to go, and how long are
As
they that they're out there? Can they come back?
as soon as they are talking back,
Okay.
having sex, thinking that they can have company, and just doing things that it's time for you to go out and be adult and not in my house.
So you mean having sex in the house or just having sex? Period.
Maybe in the house. If they feel
Okay.
as though that they can have a boyfriend and that boyfriend can stay over, whether they're having sex or not, they're doing adult stuff.
Right.
So therefore, then let me help you be an adult.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I agree to a certain extent. Again,
Sorry.
if they're being disrespectful or feeling like, they smelling themselves, as they say,
Hmm.
then I get that. But as long as the child is being respectful and, abiding by the rules that I've laid out and that his mother's laid out, I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Well, when do you let them go?
When they're ready to go.
Mm.
Because the thing that I'm looking at it from the point of view is, how do you build generational wealth? If you're helping your child save their money and be smart with their money, and as long as they're contributing to, their own upkeep, meaning they're paying their own bills, I don't have a problem with it. Because the way I'm looking at it is, if I'm helping you, uh, you know, set up your bank account where one day you won't depend on me or depend on your mother, I'm good. But if you're being reckless with your money and spending it on, things that aren't going to help you build generational wealth, yeah, you can go.
But
I'm not kicking you out, but you
you
you got to go.
you can teach them those things um afar. They do not have to be under your roof. You can teach them. I have not let my children go, but I don't want I don't want to help them in that way. I have to help them in other ways. I can't help them right there with me because I'm not letting them grow.
So Trinae says I was put out at 18. Then she says I was forced to buy an apartment with a part-time job. She says I wasn't ready. I wasn't disrespectful. She says I'm still not ready. And then Linnell says exactly, build the wealth. Um,
Trinae make more money than I make.
but she says she's not ready. She's still not ready. Um, I can agree to an extent. At some point, um, your child has to get out. Um, but I don't know. I think I've gotten softer in my own older age. Trinae says, but I learned with help and the money of the person who put me out, and now I'm a homeowner. That's great, homeowner. So hey, I guess getting her out there at 18, she learned how to grind. Um,
Definitely.
I don't know. I just think that if you are teaching your child as they come up these things, these responsibilities, then at 18 they should almost be prepared. Um, yeah. Uh, Tarina says I was happy to go looking back. I wasn't ready. She said she was happy to go. Um, and that goes to what we were saying earlier. Sometimes you're ready to get the hell up out the house, but even though you ain't ready, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
Tarina never came back.
Hey,
I mean, my thing is this, right? When I got my first apartment, I was so excited, so happy, so proud of myself. But at that time, I was spending like 800 and something dollars a month,
you
and
said
of
how much?
course, about 800 and something,
Oh, okay.
and plus, water bill, light bill, all the utilities, things that come along with that. But had I been at home, that could have been money I could have been saving. Not only saving, one, I could have been investing. Two, if I saved properly, by the time, after a few years, I would have had enough to make a down payment without, having to worry about it. So that's kind of like my biggest thing is if you're helping your child by letting them stay there, um, and again, if they're being smart with their money, I don't have a problem with it. But again, if they're being reckless and disrespectful, then yeah, we definitely got to make some changes.
Mm. Tarina said she was just happy to have that freedom, but not happy to leave her mom. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that
freedom
freedom.
is the freedom is everything, but I don't know. I guess that I don't know. I, if your child is a knucklehead, they gotta go. Uh, I would almost venture to say if my child is going to college and not on campus for whatever reason, then all right, cool. You can stay at home, just do what you got to do, and once you start getting more mature and stuff like that, then you gotta go because if you feel you got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they not coming to the crib and you not smashing in my house or nothing like that. No, we're not doing that. Just not doing that. Trinae says, looking at it seems pointless when the parent still has to put money out to assist their child with separate living arrangements instead of keeping it in the house, like you said, to save. Um,
I disagree.
yeah,
I'd rather help out than to have them come back.
you help out financially.
Yes, I'd rather do that. I need my peace. I would rather help them out than to have them come back and save. You have to find another way to save.
But I mean, I kind of agree with her. If I put my child out at 18 or whatever the case may be, because they got to be on their own, I'm not contributing financially. Especially especially if they was disrespectful. Um, like relative advisor. And Linnell says, "Hush, Rose."
She said she need her peace though. So
I need my peace.
I get that. I get that because I love my piece. But if I say you got to go, I'm not throwing no dollars to whatever you need. I mean, when you out, that means you grown.
But
And
as a parent, the support never goes away.
no, the support never goes away.
So then that's not an issue for me. But I I wish somebody had done what I did with my daughters to me,
Mhm,
and that didn't happen. So it took me a while to um, become mature enough to be the person I am today. It took me a while. I learned it on my own.
mhm,
So I gave those skills to my children. Now, I agree that maybe as I've gotten older, I have become a little softer because
mhm,
my younger daughter, um, I have to try some different methods with her.
mhm.
But now I'm all about it's, when you get to a certain age and you ready to be an adult, okay, let's start making some adult decisions. I will help you out as much as I can, as long as I can,
Mhm.
but I want my peace.
So what if
so
your child is in the house and they're not disturbing your peace and they're contributing, but they just need a couple more years to, fly the coop? They still got to go.
I will do my best to support, but it the peace is being disturbed because if I'm at work, I do not want to see somebody laying in the same spot that I left them in the morning and come back and they're still in the same spot. That annoys me.
Hmm.
They're using resources. um, they're costing me money, so if I'm going to be paying for the resources that could be not being used while I'm at work, then I may as well help them out while they're out there building their own life. No, I want my peace. No, I don't. I'd rather help them out in another way, whether it's get a roommate that you can share with and save money or whatever. But
But what if they're contributing to the household? Is that still disturbing your peace?
I don't want it.
I go ahead, son Solex.
no, I get it. Some people just they require that personal space, and when kids come of age, they still require that personal space. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I get it as well. If you burning up resources, you're not contributing to the house, then you definitely got to go. I don't care if you're ready or not. If when I get up and go to work, first of all, I'm not going to be getting up going to work and you sitting in the house chilling all day playing PlayStation, Xbox, or watching
Oh,
TV,
hell.
in and out my fridge, eating up my food, and I got to put gas in the car that I gave you. Nah, we not doing that. You got to go. Um, but if you're contributing to the household, then maybe. But then at the same time, like in a video that we watched, I might want to walk around with my balls hanging out, and it's like you here. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. But yeah. Mm.
Definitely.
And don't get me wrong, if they need to come back, yes, absolutely, I will help. But I'm going to be pushing them back out.
Mm.
So when you say push, what does that mean
That
exactly?
means encouraging them. We maybe giving them some resources to find in somewhere, having conversations. What are you doing? Where have you been looking? What do you need? You need money for a down payment, stuff like that.
Okay. So
Okay,
are you
so
giving them a time frame?
Yep,
What would you consider an acceptable amount of time?
no more than a year.
mm. So let's jump in that to that one. All right. So they have the option of coming back, and okay. So under what circumstances can they come back? You said earlier go out there and get a taste. Now, if they go out there and get a taste and they not feeling it, what are the circumstances to which they can come back home?
They can't keep up with paying their rent, whether it's due to they not making enough money, and then
Hmm.
I'm tired of paying the rent or something, or uh, the partnership whether female or male or whatever their roommate situation is, if they have a roommate, is not making it, helping the situation work.
Mhm.
Um, illness, stuff like that.
Okay. So, being that you have all daughters,
Mhm.
understandable. Would it apply if you had a son? The same thing?
I want to say yes, but it's hard because I cannot relate.
Okay.
I know that some females, they treat their sons different. They
Mhm.
they love them boys, but I
Right.
have all girls, so I can't relate. So I'm not going to comment on that because I can't. I don't know how that will be for me. But
Mhm.
I know that Linnell, she loved her boys.
Mhm.
I would say for me, whether I have, a daughter or a son, at any time if they call and say, "Hey, pops, I'm going through some things. I need to move back home in order to get myself together." Again, the rules still apply. You're more than welcome to move back. You're more than welcome to stay as long as you like. As long as you're contributing to the house positively, meaning you're paying your own bills, you're being smart with your money, and you're being respectful to whoever else is under my roof, don't have a problem with it.
Mm. Now, for me with a son, if you got laid off beyond your control, okay. Uh, but you can't come back if you was out there just playing with your money and being irresponsible and you need a lifeline, this, that, and the other. It has to be certain circumstances to which you come back home. And like Rose said, you get a year. Um, yeah. If you go out there, you be adult and you think you coming back to chill, um, we're not doing that. Especially here's another thing for me, son or daughter. If you are under my roof and you out there having kids, you got to go. You got to go because my thing is this: I've had the conversation. Hey, children are expensive. If you don't have a job, don't be out there trying to have no kids. If you go out there and have kids, you better be able to take care of them because you are not going to be a parent in my house and you can't provide for yourself or that child because, you know, that's just not happening.
Why does that make a difference? I mean, they're more in need at that time if they're having kids.
It makes a difference because if I've had several conversations with my son or daughter about how much children cost and that's a you definitely stepping in adulthood and you choose to keep having sex and then you get somebody pregnant one, two, three times. And we've had this conversation about how much a child costs, and you it's like you didn't listen to anything I said, then you got to go. Because hey, I've had this conversation with you. I've told you how much a child costs. And I've showed you, hey, you need to be able to take care of your own child. And if you go have a child and you don't have a job and you don't have nothing going on for you, then why are you here? You need to go out there and take care of your child. You need to take care of your family, especially if they call themselves being in a relationship. If you are in a relationship with the person that you got pregnant or got pregnant by, then y'all two need to go be adults in your own space. I'm not accepting the oops, I got a baby coming. It ain't no oops. Oops, you should have had a job. Oops, you shouldn't have been having sex, or you should have been having responsible sex, whatever that looks like. But at the end of the day, once you cross that line, you are a full adult and you need to be out there making your own household.
I think that's a circumstance that I would allow return to home for, just to, um, help give support and guidance for that child, at least for the female.
Mm. I don't know.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I would say I will allow them to come back, especially if they're in a situation like that. But the thing about it is, again, I'm not paying your bills.
But
I got to pay my uh, mortgage or whatever it is, regardless. So, my bills are always going to be paid. But at that point, I am allowing you to come back because you need to be doing the right thing, meaning uh, you need to be out there. If you don't have a career already, you need to be making your own money. You need to be setting up money so that you and this person can move out on your own. So I don't mind helping you up or helping you out. But at that point, you're an adult, you're a full grown adult. I'll allow you to stay a certain amount of time. But at the end of the day, at that point, you need to be making your own way.
Okay, but you're saying come back. Let's say this this child is 16, 17, 18, 19 years old and they're still in high school or just graduated high school. They go out there, get pregnant or get somebody pregnant. I think that's a different thing to me because it's like either you're still in high school, you just graduated high school, you out here having sex, you get pregnant or get somebody pregnant, you you did not have a job or you're not even in position to take care of a child, then I think you need to be on a fast track to get the hell out. Now, if it's a daughter, I'll give her a little bit of time, but I'm going to have the conversation with her and whoever she got pregnant by and the mother parents and be like, look, this is what it is. Because I had these conversations with you about having a child while you're in high school or while you don't have a job or while you have not prepared for life. For me, I'm not accepting anything less than that because it's like, again, I've had these conversations with you. You chose to disregard what I said and act like it's free fucking season and you can just get pregnant and stay home and I take care of you. No, I'm not doing that.
So let me ask you this question then. Why do you feel it's different for your daughter as opposed to your son?
It's not different for either one of them in that case. If
Okay.
you are in high school or just graduated high school, you don't have a job or you do not have a job to where you can take care of a child, I have a problem with that. Period.
Red lipstick
You said
says
shotgun
shotgun
weddings.
wedding.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Um,
They gotta go. Because again, if I've had these conversations with you and I've explained to you how much it costs to have a child, and let's look at it like this. You don't have a job, so that means you can't provide medical insurance for this child. You can't provide anything that this child needs. So you're gonna be under my roof, and I gotta provide this for you and your child. Um, no, not doing it.
So, in reference to the shotgun wedding comment, so I had my first child when I was very young and I
Mhm.
was still at home. And um, my parents had me marry the man that I was uh, had gotten pregnant by. I think it was the worst thing ever in my life. He was abusive. He was
Mhm.
a drug addict, and he was in jail. And it was a terrible experience in my life.
Mhm.
So I am totally against. Um, I know that doesn't exist. I mean, it's unlikely to exist now, but
Mhm.
it happened to me. It happened to me, and I hate it. So I would definitely go a different direction, but I also would do my very best to be all up in my kids' business
Mhm.
to make sure that they don't come home knocked up. I will be all up. I will be today. You can track your kids, or I don't
Yeah.
know, but I'm looking for my kid to make sure she ain't getting dick down.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it, but you know, uh, um, but see, that's where I'm at. If my child at a young age totally disregards what I say, then I have very little sympathy. But what I son, so like you asked me the difference between a son and a daughter. Um, the daughter is the one that's pregnant. So she's naturally going to have a harder way to go when it comes to that because she has to worry about carrying this child to term. She has to worry about, nursing this child when she has it. A son, he don't have to worry about all that. You know, nothing about a pregnancy is stopping him from getting himself situated. So he got to go. He has to go immediately. Like, you better get out there and I don't care if you got to get 2 jobs or whatever the case may be. You got to go.
I
Now,
disagree. You as his parent needs to put him in check and make sure he understands his responsibility, that he needs to be a part of the preparation of this life that's about to come. That's your job. You can't put him out. You got to make him own his job, his responsibility, and then make sure that he has the tools and resources he needs to put him out. That's your job.
but my thing is, I've given him these tools and responsibilities before he put himself in that situation.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just like my youngest son. Just like when I take him to do maintenance on the car. When I take him shopping, I give him my credit card and let him swipe. And I said, you see how much this stuff costs for you? Just look at it if you had a child and how much it costs for you to do that and you don't have a job. You think you're ready for that? No, I'm not ready for that. Then I'm letting you know, whatever you do not put yourself in a situation to where you get someone pregnant and you're not ready to take care of it, because it's going to be hard for you to do those things. You have to understand, you got to buy food for the child. You have to buy clothes for the child. You have to get medical and dental insurance and all that stuff for the child. If I'm telling you at this age, before you start having sex and getting yourself out there, that you have to worry about all these responsibilities, then I would assume that you take that to heart and say, you know what? Let me focus on getting myself together before I, want to get my rocks off and put myself in a position to where I might get somebody pregnant and I have this responsibility that I can't take care of.
Again, the way I see it is this, right? If they find themselves in a situation like that, the last thing I'm going to do is put them out.
Shit.
I'm fin to help guide you and get you on the right path first. Because the thing about it is, what I look like throwing out my damn grandkids. They had nothing to They had nothing to do with, the situation that their parent did. Meaning whether it was accident or,
Accident? No, ain't no accident.
Again, whatever the situation is, I'm not throwing out my blood.
Look.
Again, I've lived the life of a situation where I've seen my friends die because they were put out too freaking soon without the necessary tools to survive. So I'm basing my decision off of the life I've led. And I get where you guys are coming from. I mean, you two are coming from. But based off of my life experiences, I'm not putting anyone out until I know for a fact you are ready to go.
That is a tragedy that someone was left their home, forced to leave their home too soon. But again, I take it back to what happened before they left. What tools and resources did they have to survive? And were they still available? Example, you have somebody at work. They fail to perform the job the way they're supposed to. Do we fire them right away? No, we have to find out, where did we fail? What gap, where was the gap that prevented them from successfully accomplishing or a process or performing well, that where did we fail at? So somewhere before they left home, something was missing, something didn't happen, or those resources were not available to them to be successful. You cannot, again, that's a tragedy that happened, but it you know how, what's the term that they use? It starts at home. So I make myself available to my children all the time, 24/7, all the time. I make sure that I tell them all the time, don't wait till the last minute to let me know you need money, because I need time to plan. I don't like last minute handing out money. I'm there 100%. I help my grandchildren. If they came back and the grandchild was with them, I'm gonna do my best to support them. Landy, you made a comment about you're giving them these conversations and these talks and stuff. You can talk to somebody and give them that information, But in the heat of the moment, are they really thinking about that conversation? What did you put in place to make sure that they're like, oh, wait a minute, I better be careful because my father told me about this? Do you have something in place? This is rhetorical. I'm just saying, as parents, we need to make sure that we give our children the tools and the resources that they need to be successful. Get them out, but just make sure that they're able to give you a call. If you just put them out there and then they don't know that they can reach out, come back, and you're available or somebody's available, that it's a system. The family, friends, there's a connection, something, but they gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They gotta go. I'm not saying that I'm gonna be like, you got to get out and you cut off. But what I'm saying is, yes, we're having these talks. I'm showing you how to manage money. I'm showing you all these things. But my thing is, I'm showing you all these things. I'm making sure you comprehend all these things. But if you put yourself in a situation to where all that stuff went in one ear and out the other, and you start doing things that are detrimental to your progression, then we got a problem. I'm
How?
not
How do you say that you have a problem? What did you do to ensure that those conversations did not go in one ear and out the other?
because we're having action plans. I'm not just talking and saying, hey, this, that, and the other. I'm prepping you. I'm showing you how to manage your money. I'm showing you how to manage, your life. I'm showing you how to budget this, all this, that, and the other. I'm also talking to you about, hey, look, if you put yourself in this situation, hypothetically, let's just say you get somebody pregnant. Hey, I'm gonna need you to understand that you need to be ready for all this, that, and the other. But as a son or a daughter, I'm not gonna just throw the daughter out there because again, it's a different story from a male and a daughter. You have to go out there with the information that I've given you and make a way. Yes, you can call me. Yes, I will assist you. But you went out there and decided to do grown up things on a real grown up level. So you need to be out there preparing yourself for whatever is coming. Yes, you can call. Yes, you can, get assistance. Yes, I will guide you. Yes, I will support you. But at that point, you have to get I'm not saying, oh damn, you got somebody pregnant. Next week you gotta go. No. Look, you got somebody pregnant. You need to start doing these things so that you can go out, get your own place, and create a place for you and your child and this woman or whatever the case may be. You got to do that. With a daughter, yes, it's going to be different because it's going to be harder for her to do those things. So yes, she's going to have a little bit longer time to situate herself. I don't know how long, but eventually you have to go out there and do your thing because you decided to be an adult. And like you were saying, peace of mind. I got to have my peace of mind. I'm not going to sit here and be raising your child because I have my own things that I want to do that I need to do. And I'm not going to stop my life for you. Again, I will always be there for you, but you made your bed, you need to lay in it.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does contributing to the household look like, though?
With a son, um, you got you got to clean up. I mean, you take out the trash. Hey, if there's a yard out there, you got to cut the grass. You gotta do some stuff. You can't just come and go. Take a shower, wash your ass, sleep, eat, and then roll out. You have to be able to contribute in a way that sets you up for when you go out and get your own. But yeah, you're just not going to come and go as you please, eat shit, sleep, and you know, I get up one morning, I'm out cutting the grass. You're like, all right, pops, I'll holler at you later. I'm gonna hang out with my boys. Nah, bro, you better come out here and help me cut this grass or something.
You, Miss Rose?
I still feel the same way. I don't want you to, clean up behind yourself. Absolutely. I would be pissed if I had to be impacted by a mess, but that I didn't make. But contributing to my household, if you stand with me, it's just preparing yourself to have a smooth transition to your next destination.
Hmm.
Don't stay comfortable. That's my contribution.
Hmm.
I don't want to live with nobody except for my husband.
Right.
That's it.
I say for me, you are washing dish. Well, washing your own dishes. You are keeping your space, meaning the room that you are living in, clean. You are also keeping the rest of the house clean. There are certain tasks that you have to do. One, taking out trash, vacuuming, again, cleaning up your own bathroom. Um, as far as bills, you may have to pay a cable bill or a light bill, something like that. But most of all, I want to see where your money is going. I'm not controlling your money, but I want to see where your money is going. Meaning, I want to see your savings account. I want to see your checking account. I want to see what money you're putting back for your retirement. I want to see where your money is going as far as your investments. I want to see what money are you putting back to start your own business. And I want to see it all in writing. I need to see a plan, and you got to
Mm.
stick to that plan. If you want to live here, that's what I need from you.
Pew, I be out.
I guess that's the encouragement for you to get out then. I mean,
But my thing
um,
about it is, again, we're plotting a course of action for you in your life. I'm trying to show you the shortcuts to all the things, all, all the things that I wasn't taught. I was taught a lot of those things, but had I had the knowledge of knowing how to save my money and invest my money and um, perhaps put money back for a business, I wouldn't have had all the hiccups and bumps and bruises that I've taken as an adult.
mm. Patrice says pay house related bills, and Trinae says, "Oh, definitely not living with you. Too much in the business." I agree. That's too much in the business. I'm not asking to see your checking account. I'm not asking to see your savings account. I'm not asking to see none of that. We will have conversations about budgeting. If you choose to tell me how much money you have in your accounts and you ask me what you should do and where to put it and this, that, and the other, we'll have those conversations. But I don't want to see your checking account. I don't want to see your savings account because one, that's your business. That's your business. But I would hope that you can have a conversation with me about budgeting, what to do with your money, and I can, help you as best I can with that. Um, but at the end of the day, if you're an adult, I'm gonna treat you like a roommate, and I would hope that you have the mindset to be like, all right, I'm still at home, or whatever happened out in the world, and I got to go back home. I know that I can't live for free. That's how I would hope my child carry it. As far as circumstances for a child to come home, now, if it's a daughter, let's say she's with a man who says she don't have to work and they, go through whatever. Yeah, come on back home, get yourself together and, go back out there. Um, if she was abused and stuff like that, illness like Rose said, yeah, she can come back home. Um, but yeah, I'm not in your business like that. That's too much. That's too much.
It's not for forever,
I don't
but
care how. I'm not even doing it
from
for a
the
month.
16 to, I would say, maybe 18, 19. As long as
Um,
you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I don't have to see all that. But if you're not on that, the plan that we've laid out for you, and you're throwing your money away on dumb things, it's not gonna work over here.
I'm still not asking to see that stuff.
That seems a little bit controlling. Why do you have to see all of that?
Again, I'm coming from a position of I'm teaching you how to be responsible because my parents, as far as money back then, they weren't teaching me how to be responsible. I'm not controlling you as the fact of, okay, you can only spend this much money on this and that. I'm just making sure you are making the right decisions as far as financially, as far as your future. I'm trying to put you in the headspace of the more I do now, the less I will have to do later. Meaning there are guys in my field, which is a very dangerous field, who are way older than me, way older, like 60, 70 some years old, and still out here, doing what I'm doing. And I'm like, I can't see being your age and still doing this kind of work. So again, I'm trying to teach my child to be responsible with money early. So by the time they reach, 30, 35, maybe 40 at the latest, they can already be in a position to retire and enjoy their life as opposed to working, to their 70, 75, and still out here just trying to get by. Like, I don't find where's the wisdom in that?
So it sounds like to me that you you are giving them a full package. You're giving them some financial guidance to set them, some long term, um, just setting them, getting them ready to survive financially. But you're also, um, allowing them that opportunity to get that education while they're living with you. So how long does that take? When do you teach them that, when they on their own, or do you let them fully learn those aspects and then say, okay, this looks like you're ready to go? I mean, when do you let them go? Do you just keep letting them build their money and learn how to spend money? How do you know when they're ready?
As far as right now, I can't say for a fact what age I will be able to let my child go as far as being on his own, because he's 6. But thinking forward, again, I'm trying to teach him now about money, about putting money back and saying thank you for all the money that his grandparents give him and so on and so forth. But by the time he realized or come to realize, that this is your checking account, this is your savings account, um, watch it grow. I'm gonna say anywhere from maybe 10 to maybe like 18. I'm right there with him, making sure he fully understand. As long as he can show me that he's, fully aware of the money that he has and how to best distribute that money, I'm happy with it. I can let it go at whatever age. But again, as long as he's at that age where he understands fully how to be smart with his money, my hands are off at that point.
And then what are the tools and resources that you are making sure that he can look back and say, oh, my dad told me this, but wait a minute, wait a minute. What are you doing? You just letting it sit up in his head? Or does he have some resources that he can refer to if you're not around?
I would say at the age that he fully understands money is when we start writing things out. He'll have notes to refer back to, or plans to refer back to, that he and I will lay out. I mean, right now I already have savings accounts for him. I already have his college fund being taken care of. All those things are, by the grace of the creator, I'm wise enough to have that stuff set up for him. But again, once he reaches that age where he fully understands, you know, notes and tablets or whatever it takes for him to have something to refer back to.
What kind of advice can you give to someone who is not in that position to have the college fund prepared for their and laid out for their child at 6 years old?
I would say it doesn't take a whole lot to get started, whether that be 25 cents a week, a day, just whatever you can put back. Um, and just put it into something, that you can just watch it grow, whether that be a clear piggy bank or wherever the
But
kids
that's
may be.
easier said than done. Everybody might not be in the same financial situation that you're in. So what kind of, how do you tell somebody who is making minimum wage and they're making less than their monthly rent and still have to eat, put gas in their car, get to work, pay for childcare. What kind of advice can you give us to prepare a college plan for our children
That's one of those.
so that they are not still at home at 18?
Um, well, let me put this out here first. I'm not a financial planner, but I've just done the necessary research, that
Well, what have you
works
done?
for me.
What have you done?
One, again, I put aside money for college. I have a college plan that we're working on or paying on. Two, I've opened up 3 accounts for him that, whenever possible. One account, I put a steady amount of money. I'm not going to say what amount of money, but every paycheck, it goes in there straight out the rip. And the other 2 accounts, I just, put money into them when I can.
Okay.
But again, I would just recommend anyone who's looking to do that, just do your own research, man. There's plenty of tools out here that can help you, whatever financial level you may be on, that can help you set up a plan to not only help yourself, but to help, your kids.
Well, I will say, if I was doing like you with my child, 16 to 19 years old, and checking everything, bank account, savings account, this, that, and the other, there's no reason for him to be in my house at 19 years old. Because if I'm digging in his ass like that and I'm looking at all this, all that, and I'm saying also that, there's no reason for you to be at home, period. Like, there's no reason, because that means I've been overbearing enough to where they be like, yeah, I got to get the hell up out of here because that's you're doing too much. Now with my youngest son, he's pretty good with money. You know, being that he's 17, he has 4 accounts and I can still see them because he's still underage. And I see that he really doesn't spend his money on a lot of crazy stuff. And we've had, a few talks or whatever. He's about to get my old car, and that's going to be a different conversation to have because, his mother had a conversation with him because he's ready to get a car and be ready to bounce all over the place over the summer. And his mother told him, I'm not going to be giving you money so you can joyride the whole summer. And she said to him, he got to get a job. And she said he gave her some kind of look. And she told him, that car can stay with your father. And he's going for a job interview tomorrow. So he has that in his head that you're not joyriding. And I'm going to have the conversation with him as well. Look, now you're about to get a car. These are the things that you are required to do with this car. And again, I'm not going to just throw him out there. I'm going to make sure that he knows that, hey, when it comes to maintenance for this car, this is what you need to do. I will help you because you're not in a position to take care of it yourself. But you need to come to me and say, hey, Dad, it's time for this, it's time for that. And I will constantly take him until it's burned into his head. This is what I got to do. As he gets his paychecks and stuff, he puts money in his accounts and this, that, and the other. And hopefully, he'll get a job that has retirement accounts for whatever the case may be. I'll have these conversations with him to where that by the time he gets to a certain age, he can be like, you know what? My parents have fed me these tools. I'm ready to go. I mean, that's what it is with that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, again, think that you have to have a hell of a lot of money to start these things for your kids, but you really don't. I mean, again, whether it's 25 cents or $10, every week or every other week, it's fine. Just something to help teach them, that if you put money back and just watch it grow, I promise you, you'll have a stack or whatever the case may be if you learn not to mess with it. And that's, one of the key things that we have to teach our kids is be smart with your money early.
Yeah, that's true. So Do you create a verbal contract, or I mean, do you create a contract or have a verbal understanding for a child that's still at home after graduate, or if they have to come home? How does that look for y'all?
Mrs. Rose.
I would say yes. Hmm. Yes, I would definitely 100% because I need them to know what the expectations are.
Hmm.
And if we don't talk about it or discuss it or lay it out in a contract format, whether it's verbal or on paper, then I'm failing to let them know, to inform them that this is the expectation. I'm not going to just tell it to them without consistently telling them, but I'm going to have something in the tools and resources, something available for them to know that, oh, shucks, I got stuff to do. I
Hmm.
She ain't playing.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that. I think once you put it into writing, it gives them something to refer back to,
Mm-hmm.
something to, that you don't have to keep on repeating yourself. You're like, hey, did you read your contract? Go back and look at your contract.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So it's always there for them. Okay, I forgot to do this. Let
Yep.
me pick that back up. Um, Again, I just think it helps to have that type of clear understanding of this
Mm-hmm.
is what's expected of you.
Yep.
This is uh, what we need in order for us to both get along in this situation. Um, Again, if the child's being responsible, cool. It's just those knuckleheads. That's when you run into problems, I feel.
We all are knuckleheads.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a written contract and a verbal whatever. You know, that way you have something to refer to, and that way you can't be like, oh, what about? But I can't. Oh, we wrote this out. You agreed to it. You signed it, and this is what you are to adhere to. And if you cannot follow that, then you're in breach of contract, and you got to go. You got to go.
True that.
So did you? I don't know if you saw the video that we played at the beginning. Did you?
Yes, I did.
So if you was in that situation, how would you handle that?
I can't relate. I wouldn't be in that situation.
But hypothetically,
My son would be out. He would
Yeah,
be out the door. That would not happen. Um, Absolutely wouldn't happen. And if it did, then I would probably be out in handcuffs. That would not happen.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I don't care what side of that situation I was on. There's no child going to sit there and be like, I ain't going nowhere. I don't have to go nowhere. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
what? Are you serious right now? Nah, that's not happening.
yeah, don't. Mm.
Not at all. So, is it a parental or a child's failure if they are still at home or come back home after 21?
Neither.
Hmm.
Things happen. It's neither. Life happens. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
The house could catch on fire. And so would you say, oh, your house caught on fire, so you stuck out there. Go find a shelter. Absolutely not. Things happen.
That's an extreme example. I don't know. For me, I don't know if I would feel like a failure as a parent because I would think that I prepared my child for the world and they go out there. I don't know if no, I'm not even owning that. I'm not owning it. If because like you said, things happen.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you out there and you just being irresponsible, that's not on me. That's on you.
And even being irresponsible, it's just a matter of getting back on track. It's nothing wrong with telling your child, you dumb. You wanted to get pregnant because you was having unprotected sex. It's no mistakes about that.
Right?
So it's nothing wrong with revisiting those conversations. Things happen. Nobody's a failure. We
Mm,
just, we made some poor decisions.
yeah.
I would agree with that. Um, Again, I would feel like as long as you're learning, um, there's no such thing as failure because you are learning what not to do next time. Um, but if you're just making poor decisions, then yeah, you're setting yourself up to fail. So at that point, there's nothing I can do to help you. If I've told you and I've showed you and I'm, showing you by example, I'm giving you these three, courses to take, for lack of a better word. Um, I've done everything I know to do for you. I can't get out there and do it for you, meaning live your life. I can't, be that alarm clock in the morning, making you get up in the morning and go to work or go to school or be responsible. Only thing I can do is teach you as a parent the best way I know how. And that's not always an easy thing because every child isn't the same. So it requires different things for each child in order for them to learn. But again, if I'm doing everything I know to do to help you, um, what happens after that is strictly on you.
How much patience do y'all have in those situations?
I have
I
a
have
lot
a
of patience.
lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Eh, I don't know. I don't think I have that much patience. And I say that because if I've given you the tools the best I can, and you've given me the impression that you comprehend this, and you go out there and you constantly coming back and constantly making poor decisions, um, granted, I can also be compassionate because I've been that knucklehead that made a whole bunch of bad decisions for a long time. But I would hope that telling my child all the stupid stuff that I've done would hopefully steer them away from making the same mistakes. But if you go out there and granted you got a grace period of making dumb choices, but if you just constantly making poor decisions and always reaching out your hand, I don't think I have that much patience because it's like, yo, what are you doing? I can only tell you so much. I can only help you so much. I can't. You can't be a leech, for 3, 4, 5 years, and you still out there trying to learn. I don't have the patience.
Then you learn to get the patience.
Mm,
You have to learn to adjust. You made a decision to make a child, and although they are an adult according to society, that is still your child. So therefore, you have to learn how to deal with the repeated poor decision making, if
mm.
that is the case, or the successes. If they were successful, wouldn't you benefit from the success?
I'd
So
be happy that they succeeded and they're not making piss poor mistakes over and over and over and over and over
sometimes that
again.
happens, and we just have to deal with it as parents.
I guess I'm a bad parent. Because I'm not going. I don't know. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I don't think that I'm gonna have that much patience if I've given you the tools and you just
Maybe you haven't given them the right tools. You
or
can be
that.
frustrated, you can be upset, but you can't throw your hands up because you made a choice to have a child, and then you have that child for the rest of your life. What happens when you are in a position where you need that child, and then you gave up on them because they were making piss poor decisions over and over and over again?
I'm not saying I'm giving up on them. I just don't have the patience, and hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know.
You got to get the
Hopefully,
patience. Hopefully you get the patience.
yeah. That I yeah. I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully, I get the patience because at this age, my peace is everything. And yeah, if you out there just constantly messing up, and I'm asking you, what are you doing? What's going on? And I think what would frustrate me the most about it is if I'm having the conversation over and over again, and I'm asking questions, and the child can't give me a legitimate answer that makes sense. Like you can't say, "Well, I don't know what happened." I mean, what the hell you mean you don't know what happened? Like, what are you doing that's putting you in this position? And if you give me a retarded answer that doesn't make sense, then I'm gonna have a problem with that. I have no patience for that because You know what you are doing to put yourself in a position. And I have to ask, why you keep doing this over and over again? You have to be able to articulate what is going on where you are finding yourself in this position over and over again. And we have to be able to come up with a plan to keep you from making these same piss poor decisions. If you refuse or are unable to, yes, we can try it a different way, but at some point, I'm gonna be like, look, you are pissing me off because we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And as they say, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Like, at what point are you going to get right?
We have a question.
We have a question.
Yeah.
Where?
I don't want to mess up this person's name, but they have a question.
Where's the question? I don't see it.
It's a question mark.
Oh no, that was from a while ago. Trinae was like, because of what you were saying about going through all the savings accounts and checking accounts and this, that, and other. She was like, trust is not good enough.
As long as they're showing me, again, that they're responsible, I have no problem with, being hands off.
But they got to show you the bank accounts and all of that, details and all that.
Yes, they do.
I can't.
They do. They definitely got to show me that.
I can't.
Because if I'm allowing you to go without showing me to a certain degree that you're responsible enough that I have to keep my hands off of you, meaning I have to step back and recorrect you because you're not being smart with your money, then that's on me as a parent, I feel. But if you're showing me and you're displaying to me that you're responsible enough to keep up with your own money, I don't have to see your accounts. Because at that point, I do trust you.
I'm not looking at your account.
And it's really not so much about trust. It's about making sure you make the right decisions that are going to propel you in life.
And you got to see their bank accounts for that.
Yeah, I'm teaching you. Not trusting, it's me teaching you the necessary tools to provide for yourself. Because daddy ain't going to be here all the time.
Well, I think for me, I'm not asking you to see your bank account. I don't know. I might, if you show me your bank account, okay, cool. Now, if you tell me, hey, I make such and such amount of money, can you help me make a budget? I'm going to say, okay, how much you make an hour, how much you make every 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Write it down on a piece of paper and do it like that. And hey, so here, this is one way that you can budget your money, this, that, and the other. But I'm not asking to see your bank checking account, savings account, see where you spend your every penny, dime, or whatever. I'm not doing all that. I'm not. I mean,
if it's an account that I open for you, you goddamn right. I want to see every nickel, dime, penny. Nah. If it's your account where you're on it by yourself, do your thing, bro.
I mean,
if I started it, yeah, I gotta see everything.
No, well, because I look at it like this. I open accounts for my son and I can see his accounts because he's under 18. And I don't specifically go in there and look at what he's spending, how he's spending, or whatever the case may be, because that's his money. Now, with one account, with Capital One, if you open a child account, you get alerts when your child use their debit card, this, that, and the other. But I'm not going to go in there and be like, what you spend line by line. Now, when I get an alert, I'll be like, what you spend this money on? But I'm asking him because it's like Cash App and DoorDash and stuff like that. I'm like, what'd you spend that money on? And I'm like, well, you have your own debit card. Why are you using Cash App? And he told me because he's going somewhere to where they won't split the checks, this, that, and others. Like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. But other than that, no, I'm not checking.
Let me ask you this then. So I know your son, youngest son. I know that he's a responsible young man, as far as I know. So with that being said, I know that you raised a responsible young man. But if your son was not responsible and, basically blowing his money on dumb things, do you not think that you should step in and correct him?
I'm going to correct him, but I'm not going to be looking at his checking account because I look at it like this. Since I am the one putting money in the accounts that I opened for him, if he's spending being reckless with his money, I'm just not gonna put no money in there. I'm gonna give if he say, hey, I need some money, all right, I'll give you a couple dollars, but I'm not going to keep funding your account if you're doing stupid stuff. That way you can be like, you know what, Pops ain't giving me no money because I'm doing stupid stuff. Let me check myself. Um, for instance, I make sure he got money in his account.
Right.
You know, if it get to a certain level, I'm just throwing some money in it, and I don't tell him that I do it, but I'm sure he gets an alert or whatever that he got money in his account. Also, every time we together, how much money you got in your wallet? Because I told him you need to keep some dollars in your pocket. And the last time I was with him, I was like, how much money you got in your wallet? He's got, I got $80. Oh shit, okay. Slide him another $40. And that usually lasts him. And for me, it's shocking because when I was at his age, I could not keep money in my wallet. That shit burnt my wallet like it was a wildfire in California. So for him, it's like at this age, and I know that he doesn't have all the tools yet, but I see that he's responsible. So and I'm not going through his account line by line to see what he's doing. He also has a account with another bank that he never touches. So I mean, I'm just not going line by line. I'm not doing it.
So the thing about it though is, you said that if he was not responsible, you would just stop giving him money.
I would stop because right now I just throw money in his account whenever it gets to a certain amount. Now, if he was spending recklessly, I'm gonna stop doing that. He's gonna have to ask me for money, and we're gonna have a conversation. You know, that's when we have that conversation. What are you spending your money on? Because you know, I need to know so that we can redirect you. But I'm not going line by line in his account like that. Now, when he gets a job and he's making his own money, then we're having a conversation to where, hey, you know, now we got to talk. We got to have a different conversation because now you're making your own money, and now you're really about to see what it is to get a paycheck. You know, because again, you know, he's under the impression that you know he's going to be funded for all his joyride and all this that. And I was like, nah, Mm-mm. Now you are stepping into that other lane of responsibility to where, you know, things got to happen. And then hopefully by the time he's, you know, 18, 19, he's in a position to where, all right, I got to start doing this, that, and the other. And now my mother and my father have taught me this. Now I can start taking care of my own stuff and get to a place to where, you know, when it comes to that time, I'm ready to go out on my own and I can just reach back for advice or this, that, and the other. If I need a couple of dollars because, you know, hey, stuff happens. All right, cool. But, you know, you get somebody pregnant, you got to go.
So the point that I'm trying to make here is, if you were to stop giving him money at that point, it's because he's going against the lesson that you taught him.
Right.
So
he's going against conventional wisdom.
Right.
Like right now, I don't really have to beat it in his head to manage your money. He already manages his money to the point where he's not going crazy. Like I made him I put him on 2 of my credit cards and I gave one to him. I said, hey, this is for you, but you don't use this credit card unless you let me know what you're spending it on. He used it today and I got an alert and I'm like, what did you use that credit card for? He's like, oh, I went and bought some clothes, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what did I tell you? And he said, you told me if I use it, I got to pay it back. I said, no, that's not what you thought I told you. I told you, you can't, you have to let me know that what you're going to use it on. But if you spend on it loosely, then you have to pay it back. So my thing about it is, because I told him, look, this is not free money out here. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, look, so I'm giving you this so that you can learn how to use a credit card and get, you know, in that mindset. But let me know so I can help you understand that you just don't swipe a credit card because you want some chips, or you don't swipe this credit card because you want to go to the movies. You don't swipe this credit card because, you know, you got a car now, you want to put gas in your car. It's like, no, this is for certain things. Now, yes, if you want to go buy some clothes, let me know so that we can talk about how this works, and you get used to using the credit card, and you understand that, hey, you swipe this card, you make sure that you can pay it off before the interest kicks in, and we'll have those conversations so that he understands that. Now when he gets 18, 19, 20, he has that tool, and he can go out and go out in the world, and he's responsible in that aspect. That way he's not going out there burn up the credit card. Oh, dad, my credit card is, way up here. Can you help me out? No, because we had this conversation several times.
But you're teaching him the necessary tools.
Yeah,
You're
but
making him aware of being financially smart with his decisions.
without me being line by line in his accounts.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, any parting words, sir?
I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you as a parent, as long as we prep our child the best way we can, I think they will be able to go out there and be productive, and reach back for advice or help where they really need it, and not all the time. And I think that should be the goal, that, hey, when they go out, or when we put them out there in the world, they are be able to function with little assistance, and just when they need it. But the minute that, as a child, or as a young adult, you're doing things that you're not ready for, that's a different conversation, and you on a timeline for when you need to be out.
Perfect. You, Mrs. Rose? I'll say this.
I agree.
A lot of people, have said that kids are kind of like plants or flowers or whatever the case may be. You have to water them. You have to make sure they get enough sunlight. You have to make sure um, they're growing in the right season in the right direction, as they say. And I have to agree with that. If you're not pouring into your child, how do you expect for your child to know?
Mhm.
They're going to encounter a whole lot of things throughout life that they're going to have to learn on their own. But I feel like if you are setting them up and you're showing them the shortcuts, the younger they are, the less they'll have to worry about those type of things once they're older.
Mhm.
So uh, hopefully by the time my child is old enough to, graduate high school and move on to college or whatever he may decide to do, I'm hoping and praying and investing my time into my child to do the best job I know to do as a parent, to make sure when he does leave, he has the necessary tools. And I think that that's what we as parents are supposed to do. And again, it's just my personal opinion, but I just want to be able to put my child in the best possible position to win in not only life, but being the best person he can be for himself, not for me.
Hey, and that's what it is.
For sure.
With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in to King and I Life podcast. Thank everybody that joined us in the chat, and Rose for joining us live.
Yes. Thank you.
Um, we'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't know what the topic is going to be, but we'll be back in 2 weeks.
And again, shouts out to uh, it invades my mind right now, but Purple Gala. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Purple Gala. Again, they are selling tickets for that event, and of course, Soul Touch of the Poet and myself will be in the house. So again, get your tickets because we will be there. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in. And again, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. And thanks to our special guest, Mrs. Rose. We hope to have you back on.
And we'll holler at y'all.
Deuces to the truces.